Hello, I'm Narendra Shiratkar from IIT Bombay, and I'll be talking about the insights from the PV degradation that we have observed in various field surveys in India in the duration of 2013 to 2020. I'd also like to thank my co-authors for their contribution to this work. So, a little bit of introduction about NCPRE and IIT Bombay, the organizations that I represent. IIT Bombay is consistently ranked number one in India, so it's a top ranked university, technical university in India, and um, electrical engineering department at IIT Bombay is also ranked in top 50 globally. The National Center for Photovoltaic Research and Education, that is NCPRE, was established at IIT Bombay in 2020 by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, that is MNRE, as a part of National Solar Mission. So far, we have been into our second phase, and MNRE has provided a funding of about $15 million to for us to work in various areas ranging from thin films all the way to power electronics and PV reliability. We also have a highly interdisciplinary team of 29 faculty members from 9 different departments, and there are about 150 students and staff working for the deliverables of NCPRE. And of course, we have a very active research group in the area of PV reliability and soiling. So these all India surveys of PV module reliability, they were actually initiated by NCPRE and the National Institute of Solar Energy, that is NICE, in the year 2013. And since then, we have been conducting these surveys every 2 years. So we have performed survey in 2014, 2016, 2018, and I wish I could also say 2020, but the 2020 survey was postponed due to the pandemic. These all India surveys have been uh, they constitute one of the largest studies and a dataset comprising of the detailed in-field characterization of PV modules in hot climates, and they have established certain things related to how PV modules degrade in such climates. For example, we have established beyond reasonable doubt that the PV modules degrade at much higher rate than 0.7% per year in hot climates. On the other hand, in cold climates such as those in Himalayas, we do see degradation rates that are of the order of 0.7% per year, which is typically assumed in the module manufacturer's warranty claims. So now I have talked about All India survey related data at previous PV reliability workshops. So what's new in this presentation? Well, first we have used a more accurate STC correction procedure. So the results are slightly different. We are also going to talk about some of the data that was previously unpublished and a new kind of analysis on the linearity of the degradation rates. Okay, so here's the question that I'm actually going to try to address in this presentation. So is the module degradation rate after 1 year or post LID, is it constant or does it change over time? Okay, so on y-axis here we have a residual power, and let's say this is the initial but LID discounted power. X-axis we have age of the modules in years, okay, and AI stands for All India surveys. So imagine that we just had this one data point, okay, All India survey 14, which is let's say after 15 years of module deployment in field, right? If you just have one data point, then all you can do is you can just compare it with the initial power and assume that the degradation rate is linear and you get a linear degradation rate. If you have two data points, you can calculate linear degradation rates at these two separate data points, and you can try to fit a straight line through these 2 points, but then since there are just two data points, you do not get any information about the goodness of fit. So R square and other things, right? They won't mean much if you just have two data points. On the other hand, if you have three data points, then you can calculate the linear degradation rates at individual data points. At the same time, you can also have a best fit line going through three data points and compare the slope of this best fit line and the slopes of these lines that compromise the linear, that constitute the linear degradation rates, okay. And I'm calling this slope of best fit line as instantaneous degradation rate, but one must note that this instance is actually quite long. It's over the 4 year period. Even though it's over a 4 year period, this is still a much shorter time frame as compared to life of the module. So this, at this point, the module itself was 15-year-old in our studies, right? So 4 year old is still a shorter period as compared to the lifetime of the module. So anyway, so we will be trying to answer this question as to how do these instantaneous degradation rates, how do they compare with the linear degradation rates, and whether the module degrades at a same rate throughout its lifetime. Okay. So this figure on the left hand side here, on y-axis we have linear degradation rate for sites. So each data point here represents an average degradation rate for that particular site. Okay, and this is x-axis is age of the module in years. Okay, now we have already established that the modules degrade at a higher rate in hot climates. So these red dots are hot climates, okay, red triangles, as compared to the modules in non-hot climates. We have also established that the younger modules tend to have higher variability in degradation rates, and they statistically tend to degrade at higher rates than the older modules as well. But this conclusion is over a wide range of bill of materials, right? Because these younger modules would have a different bill of materials as compared to some of the older modules that we have studied in our All India survey, right? Now, in this case, on the right hand side, what we have here is that instead of just averaging out degradation rate at each site, I have plotted the degradation rates of individual modules. Okay, so for example, if you consider this site over here, right? Uh, in this graph here, I have degradation rates of all the modules in that site. Okay, so the conclusions are still valid when you even qualitatively you can see that they are still valid. Okay, but you do see a spread in the degradation rates. Right? Now, the question that we want to address here is that is the linear degradation rate, does it depend on the age of the module for the same kind of bill of material or for the same PV plant? Okay. Um, so for that, obviously, we need three or more data points per plant, right? So we have identified two sites for performing this analysis. One is in the cold zone over here, okay, so non-hot zone, and we have 30 modules over here, and it's a relatively young site with 6 years of age. And this is a site in hot zone, which is actually quite old. Age of the modules in 2018 was 19 years, and we had just about 9 modules in at this site. Okay, so let's first start with the site in the non-hot climate or the cold climate. Okay, on y-axis here I have residual power, and clearly there was some systematic error in estimation of the nameplate power, so it happens to be more than 100%. But the message here is that when we applied Wilcoxon sign rank test on the module powers, what we saw is that there is no statistically significant reduction in the average power of the modules at this site. Okay, and the power does sort of fluctuate over here. When we plot when we try to do this best fit line, okay, for one of the modules, you see that there is some fluctuation. So even though the best fit line does have a slope of, let's say, 0.7 or 0.68% per year, the line's R square is not great, and there can be variability in the slope, right? And these are the IV curves of the same module, okay, nameplate IV and the STC corrected IVs at 25 degrees Celsius in the all different All India surveys. So since we did not see significant degradation, we will not be talking about the data from this site in this presentation, because the conclusions will not be uh, very significant. Okay. Now let's talk about the site in the hot climate. We have a similar graph here, and when we applied the Wilcoxon sign rank test on average power, we did see a statistically significant reduction in the average power of the modules over these all India surveys in this 4-year period, okay, which is important. Even though there is some fluctuation, the average power did go down. And you can also see that the residual power is actually between some 77% to 57%. So these modules are already quite degraded, and their age was 19 years in 2018. Okay. Now let's compare the instantaneous degradation rates for all of these 9 modules. Okay. Um, Here the negative slope indicates a positive degradation. In other words, when your slope is negative, the module is losing power over time. And in our All India surveys, we assume positive degradation rates when the module is losing power over time. Now, someone may say that, well, you just have three data points. Why are you even bothered about fitting a best fit line through these points? And that's a valid criticism. But one thing to note here is that six out of these nine modules tended to have a very nice straight line with an R square of more than 95%. Okay, so we thought that it is still worthwhile exploring these at least these six cases in slightly more details as to what is happening. We could have simply had all of the data points something like this, right, where the line is not fitting at all and there is a lot of noise, but that we did not observe. We actually did see in several cases that there was a very clear trend of reducing power. Okay, so we wanted to look at these cases with in a little bit more detail. So in this graph here, I have a linear degradation rate um, and the instantaneous degradation rate plotted for every module. Okay, and you essentially see two different kinds of behaviors. So if you look at these modules, there the instantaneous degradation rate is much lower than the linear degradation rates seen in all India surveys at at different data points. And if you look at these three modules, here you see that the instantaneous degradation rates, which are basically slopes of the best fit lines, they are higher than the linear degradation rates estimated in the All India surveys. Okay. And another thing to note is that this second, the type B kind of modules, where the instantaneous degradation rates were higher, they also tended to lie at the lowest range of powers in this graph here. So they tended to have very low powers as well. Okay, on the other hand, these other modules had slightly better powers than um, these type B modules. Okay, now let's look at some detailed analysis at type A kind of modules where the linear degradation rates was higher than the instantaneous degradation rate. Okay, you see that in EL image that there is a lot of degradation and series resistance increase. You do see some visual discoloration around the in the center, and there's some metallization discoloration as well. The slope was quite the R square of the line was quite good, and here you see that in the IV curves are quite different from the nameplate. That indicates a significant amount of degradation. And from All India survey 14 to 18, the curve has shifted slightly, but not so much. Okay, and there is some evidence of shunting over here, and we are exploring. There is a recent publication that indicates that this could be a fake shunt associated with metallization delamination. So we are exploring this possibility as to why there is enhanced amount of shunting over here. If you look at the type B module, where the linear degradation rate is lower than the instantaneous degradation rate, again you see that the module's IV is quite different than the nameplate IV. Okay, so they have degraded significantly, but they continue to degrade, because if you look at this IV curve, the red, green and blue, there is significant difference between these two, and they tend to they're still degrading, and they're degrading at a faster rate than before. Okay, again you see a similar kind of EL image, but now there is some evidence of enhanced corrosion at some of these cells. Okay, which is probably worse than what we had seen before, right? So to summarize, there are two kinds of behaviors: one in which instantaneous degradation rate is higher than the linear degradation rate, and there you still see a continuous change in the IV curve even after several years of field exposure. So to summarize, one can compare the instantaneous degradation rates with the linear degradation rates, and to comment on the linearity, what we have done is we have looked at a site that is about 19-year-olds old in 2018, and we have calculated instantaneous degradation rate over a 4-year window, and then we have compared that with the linear degradation rate. Now in type A modules, the linear degradation rate was found to be more than the instantaneous degradation rate. Okay, now these models also tended to have higher residual power. Okay, and it indicates that their degradation rate was likely higher in the beginning, and then it slowed down later. On the other hand, for type B modules, the instantaneous degradation rate over 4-year window was higher than their linear degradation rate. Okay, now these modules also tended to have some of the lowest residual powers with them. Right, now if you assume that these modules pass through type A initially, okay, type A phase, then one can say that the module degradation rate is initially high, it slows down in between, and then it increases again when the wear out kicks in. I understand this is just based on a small sample, and we of course would like to perform a wider study on this. Okay, and this needs to be confirmed with not just more number of modules, but also we would like to take more data points. So instead of 3, we'd like to take 4 or more data points spaced 2 year apart or so. And then we also plan to bring these modules in the lab to study them in further detail. But uh, this indicates this does provide a framework as to how one can compare the instantaneous degradation rates with the linear degradation rates, and then comment on the linearity of the module degradation itself. I would like to thank my funding agency, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and the NCPRE PV Module Reliability Group for their contributions to this work.